The night he decided not to quit, no one saw it. No applause, no music, no one cheering his name. Just a small room, a flickering bulb, and a boy sitting on the floor, holding a future that looked completely empty. He had nothing. No money, no connections, not even a clear plan. Only a quiet voice inside him, whispering, "Try again." His name was Daniel, and if you met him back then, you wouldn't remember him. He was the kind of person people looked past, not at. Quiet in conversations, invisible in rooms, average in everything. He grew up in a narrow street where dreams felt too big for the sky above it. The walls of his home were thin, thin enough to hear neighbors arguing, thin enough to hear his own doubts echo at night. His father worked long hours, but the money never stayed long enough. His mother stretched every meal like it was made of hope instead of food. Daniel learned early life wasn't fair, but he also learned complaining didn't change anything. Still, he tried. He applied for jobs, rejected. He shared ideas, ignored. He asked for help, dismissed. Every no felt heavier than the last. Every closed door sounded louder. There were days he walked for miles just to hand out resumes, only to return home with the same silence he left with. The sun would go down, and so would his confidence. He watched friends move forward, watched classmates celebrate achievements, watched life happening without him. And slowly, something dangerous started growing inside him. Not anger, not jealousy, but doubt. The kind of doubt that whispers, "Maybe this is all you'll ever be." The kind that makes you question if trying is even worth it. One evening, he sat at a bus stop long after the last bus had gone. The street lights hummed softly, cars passed, but none slowed down. He looked at his reflection in the glass shelter, tired eyes, slumped shoulders, empty pockets. For the first time, quitting felt peaceful. No more pressure, no more expectations, no more disappointment. Just accept it. He closed his eyes, and the silence grew louder. Then, something small happened. A janitor nearby was sweeping the pavement, slow, steady, patient. The man wasn't in a hurry, he wasn't frustrated, he just kept moving the dust, one small stroke at a time. No one noticed him, no one thanked him, but he kept going. Daniel watched him for a long moment, and something shifted. The janitor wasn't building a career, he wasn't chasing success, he was simply doing what he could with what he had right now. That's when Daniel realized he'd been waiting for a big opportunity, a perfect moment, a clear sign. But maybe life didn't work that way. Maybe you build something before anyone believes in it. Maybe you move even when no one is watching. That night, he went home and made a decision so small it almost sounded meaningless. He would start with 1 hour, just one. 1 hour every night, learning something new. No grand plan, no guarantee, just movement. The first nights were hard. His mind wandered. His energy faded. He felt foolish, sitting alone, studying while the world slept. But he kept going. 1 hour became a habit. The habit became momentum. Days turned into weeks. He learned skills, tiny at first, writing, problem solving, communication. Nothing dramatic, nothing viral, just quiet growth, layered slowly like bricks no one saw him stacking. People still ignored him. Life didn't suddenly change. Money didn't appear. But something inside him did. Confidence built quietly. Discipline grew roots. Focus sharpened. He stopped chasing validation and started chasing progress. There were setbacks, of course. Opportunities slipped away, projects failed, doubts returned. Some nights he stared at the screen, wondering if he was wasting time. But then he remembered the janitor, steady, patient, unnoticed. So he kept sweeping his own path. Months later, a small chance appeared. Nothing impressive, a minor freelance task, low pay, high effort. Most people would have ignored it. Daniel didn't. He treated it like it mattered, because to him it did.
He worked late nights, refined every detail, delivered more than expected. The client noticed. Then another chance came, slightly bigger, slightly better. Slowly, almost invisibly, things began to shift. His skills improved, his confidence grew, his world expanded. He wasn't lucky, he was ready, and readiness changes everything. Years passed. The boy who once sat in silence now had work he created himself. He built a small team, then a bigger one. He helped others who once stood where he did. He wasn't famous, not instantly, not dramatically, but he built something stronger than attention. He built a life, one that didn't depend on approval, one that didn't collapse with rejection, one that grew because he grew. The same people who once overlooked him now asked how he did it. They wanted shortcuts, secrets, overnight formulas. He would smile and remember the flickering bulb, the empty pockets, the quiet janitor. There was no secret, just 1 hour repeated when no one cared, one decision made when quitting felt easier, one step taken when the path wasn't visible. He didn't build success overnight. He built himself every day, and success followed quietly behind. Sometimes life doesn't give you a head start. Sometimes it gives you nothing. No support, no recognition, no guarantee. Just silence and a choice. You can wait or you can build. You can doubt or you can move. You can accept the empty room or turn on the flickering light and begin. Because the truth is, the world doesn't notice the beginning. It doesn't celebrate the struggle. It doesn't see the nights you fight doubt alone. But those are the moments that create everything. Daniel had nothing, and that became his advantage. Nothing to lose, nothing to protect, nothing holding him still. So he moved, and step by step, hour by hour, he built a life no one expected, including himself. Maybe you're sitting in that quiet room right now. Maybe your pockets feel empty. Maybe the future looks blurry. Maybe no one believes in what you're trying to do. That's okay. You don't need everyone. You don't need perfect timing. You don't need everything.
You just need 1 hour and the courage to start. Because the most powerful transformations don't begin with noise. They begin with silence, with a decision made when no one is watching. And one day, the life you build quietly will speak louder than anything you could have said. If this story felt close to home, if it reminded you that starting small still matters, stay with us, because the next story might be the one that changes how you see your own beginning. And if you're building something quietly too, consider subscribing so you don't walk that road alone.